songs, puppets, fun and mime. Welcome to the story time. Hello, Augustians. Today's stories is from the House of Pratham Books. It's titled The Red Fairy. It's written by Kamla Bhasin and illustrated beautifully by Tanvi Bhatt. Let's start. I could not believe my eyes when I saw her for the first time. This is incredible! Such a tiny car, yet it can seat 4 passengers, I thought. I was sitting on a wall with my little sister Neeta, counting cars. I love cars. I dream of them, and I can tell you the make of every vehicle on the road. Aren't cars amazing? Brum, 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 and you can go anywhere in them. Bright yellow, her headlights blinked. She looked like a red fairy. Questions whirled in my mind. Where did she live? What was her name? I needed to know more about her. I cycled to the colony gate. I asked Guard Chacha if he knew anything about this sparkling little red car. He laughed and said, "You like that car. That car and its owner have recently moved here. They live in house number 112. Thank you, I said and cycled home again. That evening, I went to house number 112 looking for my new neighbor. I spotted big cars, but the little red car wasn't there. Then I saw a gate, and behind the gate, I saw Red Fairy. There was a cable attached to her left. Oh, Red Fairy moved with electricity, not petrol or diesel, and she got herself charged to run around. The next day, I saw Red Fairy whizzing past. I ran behind her and raised my hand to stop her. She stopped. Sitting inside was a white-haired lady who smiled at me. She looked like my Nani. I gently patted Red Fairy and told Nani, "I am a car expert, but I have never seen a car like this. I really like her." "I hope you will like me too," said Nani. "Since Red Fairy and you live together, you must be very nice too," I said, and couldn't help but grin. "You have given this little one a wonderful name, Red Fairy," said Nani. "And may I call you Red Fairy's Nani?" I asked. I told her about my love of cars and motorcycles and about my photo collection. Nani said, "Red Fairy and I moved to the colony recently and do not know anyone here. I'm glad you stopped us." "My name is Meetu. I will ask Ma to introduce you to our neighbors. But first tell me more about Red Fairy." Nani offered to take me for a drive. I was so excited. I ran home. Listen to this carefully, Augustians. Meetu was very excited, but see what she did. I ran home and asked Ma for permission to go with Nani. Then I jumped into Red Fairy's lap. Nani started her up and Red Fairy began to run. As we whizzed down the roads, I could hear no roar, only a purr. I asked Nani why the car was so quiet. She said, "Red Fairy makes no noise and emits no smoke." Red Fairy zipped between cars, small cars and big cars. People on the road stared and smiled at us. Everyone's attention was drawn to this magical car. At a red light, an auto rickshaw driver was curious about Red Fairy and asked Nani a lot of questions about her. The light turned green and we drove on, ahead of everyone. No room room noise, yet zooming away. Soon, we were at India Gate. Nani bought ice creams for us. Everything was grey. Nani said it was the smog that made things grey. I told her that my papa said that the air in Delhi was very polluted. "The smoke that comes out of cars adds to this pollution, which is why my mother doesn't like my interest in cars." Nani listened as I shared my stories with her. "My sister Neeta and I often get ill and catch colds and coughs because of the pollution. But I do love cars. What do I do? I asked. Nani said she had been driving Red Fairy for 8 years and they were good friends. Suddenly I felt that Red Fairy was whispering to me, Me too. I do not pollute the air like others car. Also, I take very little space to move and park. I was now convinced that Red Fairy was magical. No smoke, no sound, no petrol, and no diesel. And she was talking to me. Cars that use alternative energy can reduce air pollution. Who knows? You could become a scientist and invent cars that cause no pollution at all, said Nani. I decided that I would invent a new car and call it Whip Your Fairy. And that was the story of Neetu and her rendezvous with green cars. Green cars are the cars that are environmental friendly. They consume less or no petrol and emit little or no carbon dioxide. There are several kinds of green cars, Augustians: electric car, hybrid car, hydrogen car, solar cars. Till we meet next time, find out more about these. Ta-da, Augustians!